Okay, so the other two conversion systems that I wanted to talk about and teach you guys about are one is metric to apothecary. This is a really old system that we don't really see much anymore, and I mentioned in the video lecture that I already posted, but I think the one that you probably do need to know is grains. This one here, it stands for grains, and the abbreviation is GR. So don't confuse that with grams. A lot of people will confuse that with grams, but it is grains. And you need to know that there are 60 milligrams to 1 grain. I think that's the conversion you need to do. Sometimes you'll see 65. There can be a 60 or a 65 milligrams per 1 grain. And I think the reason we see this discrepancy is because the grain came from a grain of rice. So it's a really, random, archaic thing that we do not use anymore. But unfortunately, there are still a few medications that measure in grains, and one of them is Synthroid. Sometimes you can find Synthroid found in grains, which is a medication for your thyroid. Now, the liquid form is Dram, and that's over here. So this is like our volume measurement, and we don't use this. So we don't use this. So I'm not worried about the drams, but I do want you to know grains. So let's take a look at grains here, and let's see what the conversion here for grains is. So there are a few other ones that you can find. Scruples, I'm not even sure what that is, drams. There are 12 ounces in a pound in the apothecary system. Now I want you to know in the household system, there are 16 ounces in a pound. So don't confuse that. We really don't use pounds in the apothecary system. We mainly just use grains. So I think the number one thing for you to know is that there are 60 milligrams in a grain. So the other system I want you guys to know is the household system, which you guys have seen this, and if any of you guys bake, you'll know this. But we use this because this is an American way of calculating, and a lot of people that get medication, they don't have things at home that are measured in milliliters. So a lot of times we have to convert from milliliters to teaspoons or tablespoons for children medication. So it is important to know these conversions, that there's 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon. There are 2 tablespoons in 1 ounce. And there are 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. There's 2 cups in a pint. There's 16 ounces in a pint. There's 2 pints in a quart, and there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So a few of these I can tell you right now, the conversion is pretty simple. You also need to know the household to the metric system, because it's usually what we convert in pharmacy is we will go teaspoons to milliliters to teaspoons. So I will tell you there are 5 milliliters in 1 teaspoon, and you need to know that. So I'll post this sheet on it'll be posted, it should be found in your Canvas. So a couple of the household conversions that you need to know, and I'll post this also on Canvas. Like I said here's grains. This is 65 instead of 60. So let's go ahead and go with the 65 when we're calculating, since it's reported right here. So 1 grain is equal to 65 milligrams. A few really important ones are located down here. There's 1 teaspoon and 5 milliliters. 1 tablespoon is equivalent to 15 milliliters. 1 fluid ounces is 30 milliliters, and 1 pint is 480 milliliters. This is really important to know. So I'll go ahead and post this as well, so you guys can have access to this, but very important information. You also have a conversion sheet posted on your on your Canvas page. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do a couple practice problems here. I'm going to do the ones that are highlighted. So the first one is we are going to go to let me turn this. We're going to go to 4 teaspoons, and we want to get to milliliters. And we're going to use the dimensional analysis again because it's the easiest for, I think, anyone when they're converting. So you make sure you go to the right space. And we want to use our conversion between teaspoons and milliliters on this. And if you look here, our teaspoons to milliliters there is 1 teaspoon in 5 milliliters. So on our dimensional analysis, we have teaspoons on the bottom and milliliters on the top, and there is 1 teaspoon to 5 milliliters. So you're going to cross those off, and then are you in milliliters? Milliliters, yes and yes. So now we're just going to type it in our calculator. 4.5 times 5 is equivalent to 22.5. So 22.5 milliliters is the correct answer. Okay, here is one where we're going between pounds and kilograms. I didn't give you guys this conversion, but I will tell you 2.2 pounds is equivalent to 1 kilogram. So you're going to want to know that so you can add that. It's on your conversion sheet. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to start with 325 pounds, and we want to get to kilograms. Put our X, and we want to put pounds on the bottom and kilograms on the top, and 2.2 pounds to 1 kilogram. We're going to cross off our pounds, and we're left with kilograms. So all we have left is to type it in our calculator, and our answer is 325 divided by 2.2, and our correct answer, we're going to round to the hundredths. Let's round to the tenths place on this one. So we're going to do 147.7 kilograms. 147.7 kilograms. Okay, let's go to milliliters to teaspoons. Okay, so we have 75 milliliters, and we want to go to teaspoons. Again, we're going to put milliliters on the bottom and teaspoons on the top. We can cross our milliliters off. There is 1 teaspoon and 5 milliliters. So we are going to take 75 divided by 5 is 15 teaspoons. So the correct answer here is 15 teaspoons. We're going to go to pounds to ounces. So we might have to move a couple on this. 6.6 pounds, and there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Okay, that's the conversion, and we are going to ounces. So we have 6.5 times 16, and the correct answer is 104. 104. So the key here is making sure you have access to a conversion sheet. And if for your exam, I don't know if your instructor will allow you to have a conversion sheet or not, but for your PTCB exam, you will not have a conversion sheet. So you're going to have to memorize your conversions. Okay, let's do one here with grains. We're going to do milligrams and grains. So let's do number 5 over here, 118 milligrams, and we're going to grains. GR stands for grains. So there are milligrams to grains, and there are 65 milligrams in 1 grain. We can cross that off. 118 divided by 65 is, we're going to round to the hundredths place because typically we do that, and it's going to be 1.82 grains, or 1.82 grains. Okay, so those are some ways to convert between the apothecary and the household system. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and practice. There is a quiz in this lecture section for you guys to practice household metric, and apothecary system on your conversions. And that's all we have for you.